So your boss doesn't respect you, and you argue with him. It's not going to fix that. I know it's hard to hear, but after 30 years in the blue collar work, I can tell you, the guys who always win with their bosses, they never actually fight with their boss.
Let them fight.
They do something way smarter. They make themselves so valuable that power flips. The boss stops being the one in control, and you do. And the craziest part? Most blue collar workers are 3 moves away from that position right now, and they don't even know it.
Surprised you didn't know that.
I've been a union carpenter, a project manager, a UAW inspector, and I've been the guy getting yelled at, and I've been the guy doing the yelling. So I've seen both sides of this. And today, I'm going to break down exactly what those 3 moves are, why they work, and even why the worst boss you ever had just handed you the most leverage you've ever had in your career. So let's get into it. Alright, move number 1, and this is the foundation everything else is built on. Become irreplaceable. Not good, not reliable, irreplaceable. There's a massive difference. A good worker shows up on time and does his job. That's the bare minimum. Your boss can find another one of those on Friday. An irreplaceable worker, though, that's the guy who holds 3 certifications nobody else on the crew has. And that's the guy who can run the BAS system and troubleshoot the FFDs. That's the guy who knows the new refrigerants, the new codes, and the new diagnostic tools while everyone else is still guessing. And when that guy has a disagreement with the boss, the conversation goes very differently, trust me. Because the boss already did the math. Replacing the guy costs time, money, and production, and in 2026, it might cost him the whole entire project. So let me give you some context on why this matters more right now than any other time in the last 50 years. You see, there are 530,000 skilled trade jobs sitting unfilled across the country right now. In the construction industry alone, it needs 349,000 new workers just to keep up in 2026. The average trade person in America is 45 years old, right? So 40% of the entire skilled labor pool is expected to retire within the next decade. You know what that means for you? It means your leverage just went through the roof. Companies are fighting over skilled workers. They're offering signing bonuses, better benefits, and flexible schedules. And 77% of manufacturers say they can't find enough workers. And you're going to waste that leverage by arguing with your foreman about who took the last roll of tape? Nuh-uh. You're smarter than that. So here's the play. Stack your skills. Every certification you add makes you harder to replace. OSHA 30, if you don't have it, get it. Specialty certifications in your trade, whatever they are, like NATE, AWS, EPA 608, Universal, whatever applies. Learn something adjacent to your trade. If you're an HVAC guy, learn building automation. If you're an electrical guy, learn solar or EV charging. If you're a carpenter, learn project management basics. The guy with the 1 skill has 1 option. The guy with 5 skills has 5 options. And the guy with 5 options doesn't need to yell at his boss. He just needs to make a phone call. And that's the whole thing. When you have options, you have power. And when you have power, respect comes automatically. Move number 2, and most guys completely miss this one. Build your reputation outside your current job. And here's what I mean. Most blue-collar workers make a critical mistake. Their entire professional identity exists inside one company, one boss, one crew, and one job site. That means one person controls everything, your assignments, your overtime, your raises, and your future. And when that one person decides they don't like you, you're stuck. But the guys who always win, they've been building what I call a shadow network, and it changes everything. A shadow network is simple. It's your reputation and your relationships outside of your current employer. Guys in the other shops who know your work. Contractors who've seen what you can do. Suppliers who remember you by name. People at the union hall. People you've trained with. When you've got that network, something powerful happens. Your boss stops being the gatekeeper to your career. He becomes one of the many options, and that's it. And he can feel it. I'm not saying you walk around threatening to leave or nothing. You don't have to say a word. But the energy shifts when a man knows he has somewhere to go. He carries himself differently. He speaks differently. And he negotiates differently. And bosses pick up on that instantly. Trust me. Now let me flip this and show you what this looks like in practice. I knew a guy, a union electrician, solid worker, but his foreman was a nightmare, busting his balls all the time, screaming matches every other day. Other guys on the crew were miserable. Some quit. But this electrician did not fight, and he didn't quit. He spent 6 months getting his OSHA 30 on the weekends. He connected with 2 GCs on LinkedIn who were staffing a data center build and quietly let it be known he was open to new opportunities. And 3 months later, he got an offer for $12 more an hour with per diem. He put in his notice that Tuesday. By Thursday, his current company matched the offer and moved him to a different crew with a better foreman. He never raised his voice once. That's what winning looks like. No screaming, no drama, just leverage. So how do you start building this, you might ask? It's easier than you think. Go to industry events. Get active on LinkedIn. Even a basic profile with your certs and trade listed puts you on the radar. Talk to other tradesmen supply houses. If you're union, show up to meetings and actually network. If you're non-union, connect with contractors outside your current company. Every relationship you build is another exit door, and a man with exit doors doesn't beg his boss for respect. He walks in already carrying it. Now, before I give you move number 3, and this is the one that turns everything we just talked about into real money, I want to talk to you about something that connects directly to what we're building here. If you're watching this and thinking, I need to stack skills, but I don't know where to start, or if you know somebody who's considering getting into the trades but feels overwhelmed by the options, that's exactly why I partnered with Course Careers. They help people break into high-paying career paths, including blue-collar and tech-adjacent roles, without the 4-year degree, without the student debt, and without the guesswork. It's a clear path. It's structured training, real results. I'll drop the link down in my description, guys. Go check it out. Okie dokie. Move number 3, and this is where everything comes together. Move number 3, the warm exit. And let me reframe this for you, because this is the part that doesn't make sense at first. Most guys think opposite of a bad boss is a good boss. Well, it's not really. The opposite of a bad boss is not needing any boss at all. And that, my friends, is what a warm exit is. It's having your next move already lined up. Not because you're running away, but because you're always running towards something better. Here's the problem with how most blue-collar workers handle a bad boss. They take it, and they take it, and they take it, then they explode. They cuss the boss out. They throw their hard hat and walk off the job and feel great for about 45 minutes or so. Then reality hits. No paycheck coming, no references, no plan, and now they're scrambling to find work from a position of desperation instead of a position of strength. That's not winning, that's losing with extra steps. A warm exit means you always have these 5 things ready. An updated resume with your current certs and experience. At least 3 solid industry contracts who know your work. 1 active job lead, not a fantasy, an actual conversation happening with another company, and an emergency fund. Even 2 months of expenses, it gives you breathing room. And how about your skills, documented and portable, certifications, licenses, and training records, stuff that belongs to you, not your employer. And when you have those 5 things, your entire relationship with your boss changes. You stop operating from fear, you start operating from choice. And here's what most people don't realize. You probably won't even need to use it, because you carry yourself like a man with options. The conflicts you're having right now, they start to disappear, and your boss treats you differently. Your coworkers treat you differently, and you treat yourself differently. I've seen this play out hundreds of times in 30 years. You got the guys who rage quit and then come back with their tail between their legs crawling back 6 weeks later. And then you got the guys who build leverage. They build networks and keep a warm exit ready. They're the ones who end up running their own crews, starting their own companies, and pulling in 6 figures while their old boss is still yelling at someone new. I read recently the CEO of Hadrian said it in a Fortune 500 interview. He thinks we're headed for massive inflation in blue-collar salaries. The leverage is swinging to the workers. Ford's CEO said the same thing. America can't build what it wants to build without skilled tradespeople. So the question isn't whether you have the power. You do. The question is whether you're going to use it like a professional or waste it on a shouting match you'll regret by lunchtime. And look, I get it. I've been there. I've had bosses that made me want to put my fist through drywall. And I've stood on a job site at 6 in the morning wondering why I was taking orders from a guy who couldn't wire a light switch. But every time I chose strategy over emotion, I ended up coming out ahead. Every single time. So let's bring it all together. Move 1, become irreplaceable. Stack your skills and your certifications so no boss holds the keys to your future. Move number 2, build your shadow network. Your reputation outside your current job is your real insurance policy here. Move 3, keep a warm exit ready. Not because you're leaving, but because knowing you can leave, it changes everything. 6 months from now, you can be the guy who walks onto any job site knowing that if the boss doesn't work out, you've got 3 phone calls that will. Or you can be the same guy eating it, exploding, and starting over from scratch. The trade shortage just handed you the most leverage blue-collar workers have had in decades. Use it. Now drop a comment below, guys, and tell me which of these 3 moves are you making first. I read every single one of them. Hit subscribe if you haven't, guys, and check out JV Charles TV for 3 fresh videos every week on blue-collar trades. I'm JV Charles. We'll see you on the next one.